feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? We're back again for Saturday night, and I have zero updates for you. I have no updates for anything we've been following. That's a great way to start a show. Zero updates, none. Yeah, it's been a really slow 24 hours. There's been like no updates in anything we've been following. It's been a strange 24 hours. But that's okay. We got other crimes to talk about, including another body found in the bayou in Houston, but this one has been identified. So we're going to hear about that. The family rejects the theory that it is accidental. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. As I turn the stream on, the stream broke. So hold on 1 second. I have to jump back out and jump back in. Very annoying, but hold on. All right, there we go. We're all right. Hey, good to see you all. I heard some people talking about the hype button earlier. I don't know. Ask Sean. Sean knows about the hype button. I don't know why sometimes it is there and sometimes it is not. I have no idea. As far as I know, as long as your content is not restricted in any way and it's eligible, you should be able to have it. I don't know. Apparently, you just can't do it when it's a live stream, like it's live on the channel, like right now. But on the replay, it should be there. If it's not there, let me know. I'll reach out to YouTube and be like, "Hey, what the f?" And I'll tell them. Hey, Laurie, thank you so much for the super sticker, my friend. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Very, very kind. I appreciate it. All right. Let me get set up and then we'll talk about this. Zero updates. None. All right. There's that. There's that. Hey guys, good to see you. Good to be back. Who's messaging me? Yes. Someone is messaging me. All right. Good to be back. Good to be back. Kelly says, talk to YouTube. It's not there on the replay, at least for me. I know at one point it did work because we got it hyped. We got a hype thing. Why it's not working now, I don't know. But Sean sent me a screenshot of when it did work. He sent me a thing like where people had hyped it and we had a number and things like that. Why it's not there now, I don't know. It was only on one video. That's weird. My video is playing. I'll have to go back and check. I don't know. They said that it's in their thing here. It says that it's rolling out slowly, but other people, when I look at online, other people are saying that some of their subscribers can see it, some of them can't, and some creators are saying that it's not on their videos at all anymore. So I don't know, but it says in their no, that's not what we want. Yeah, eligibility and policies. Says here that channels in the YouTube Partner Program, which we are, with subscribers between 500 and 500,000, which we're in that range, and you live in Australia and between Australia and the United States, or the United Kingdom, that should be fine. And as long as your content is not age restricted, misleading, clickbait, or sensational content, I don't think ours is sensational content. Unlisted videos, private videos, made for children content, videos with content ID claims, videos with YouTube giving fundraisers, live streams or premieres while live, YouTube shorts. So as long as you're not any of those, it should be fine. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. Kelly says if we can find out the video that has the hype, let me know. I'll tell you. If I can get Sean to find it again, I will tell you. Hey, good to see you guys. Who's here? Let me see. You sent me a screenshot. Let me have a look. Hype this video late show. Okay, so we had 2,940 hypes on one video. Yeah, that was a while ago. That's when we had Joe on a few weeks ago. But I'm pretty sure there was another one other than that one. So for a few weeks there, we were getting them all the time, and now we're not. So I don't know. Carolina said they shouldn't roll it out unless it's fair. I reckon what's happening is they're rolling it out and then removing it and then putting it back in and changing it. And eventually when they find the format that they like, it'll be widespread again. This happened when they did the chat thing and they brought in the 2 levels of moderators. That sort of came in and disappeared and came back again. And then it finally got rolled out throughout YouTube, and then it was fine. But yeah, it I don't know. I will see. But yeah, there was one. I know that Galo sent me one here. So you can see it here. It says hype this video. Hype this video, and we had like 2,940 hypes, whatever that is. It's many hypes. I don't know if that's 2,900 people. I don't know if that's 3 people that had 1,000 each. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the content or what we write in the title. Maybe because Jay Slater was such a big story at the time. I don't know. I'll see. Well, I'll talk to Sean, see if Sean can find any more of them, and we'll see if they pop up again on the channel. All right, I want to talk about here. Let's get out of that. I want to go back to the one in Houston. So, the body found in a Houston bayou identified, family searching for answers months later. So he was a 34-year-old man from South Houston, and they're saying they pulled his body out earlier this year in June from 1300 Baker Street in the city. And they're saying here they don't understand what's going on because the young man could swim. He was a proficient in water, and they don't understand why he would have drowned. And cops are saying it's an accidental drowning, but they're saying they don't think so, and it's something more nefarious going on. This would tie in with what we've heard over the last few weeks, where people are saying there has been an increase in bodies found in the water in Houston over the last 2 months, and people are really enamored with the idea that there is a serial killer roaming around Houston. Look, I'll play you the video, then you tell me what you think, okay?
Our top story here today. One of the bodies found in the bayous over the summer has since been identified as a 34-year-old man from South Houston. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez joining us live from the studio with the details on that. Angie.
Yeah, the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed that Salome Garza Jr. was found dead at Buffalo Bayou back in June.
Identified as a
Yeah, it's very quiet, even for me, and I have audio boosting on here. I'll play it through the headphones for you. Oh, no. That's not what we wanted to do.
34-year-old man from South Houston. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez joining us live from the studio with the details on that. Angie.
Yeah, the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed that Salome Garza Jr. was found dead at Buffalo Bayou back in June. Today I spoke with his mother, Anissa, about the loss, and she says that HPD has given her radio silence. She just wants answers.
It's hard. A lot of things are hard.
Anissa Villarreal says she still hasn't processed the death of one of her only 2 boys in a family of 6.
He was very loving, very caring, giving what he had.
It's giving an echo this time? What? We did this the other day and it worked really well. We do it this time and we get an echo. StreamYard is so annoying. StreamYard is so annoying. I'm not sure what's going on with the quiet audio because as you can hear on my side, it's very loud. But when I play it for you guys, it's very quiet. StreamYard really needs to sort their shit out because it's very annoying when you're trying to share a tab, and it's only been a recent issue. We've done this for years. We've done this type of show for 800 episodes or more, and I don't understand why we're starting to get audio issues with sharing tabs of different videos and things like that. You know, like I said, we've done 800 videos and never had a problem. And it's like a recent thing. We're going to have to reach out to StreamYard and see if they can do their freaking job. They get paid enough money. They should. All right.
We all had. He had some mental disability. He was full-blown schizophrenic and bipolar, but he did try to manage that every day.
Houston police confirmed that 34-year-old Salome Garza Jr. was recovered by a dive team from the waters at Buffalo Bayou back in June. But for weeks, Villarreal has called the Harris County Medical Examiner's office, hoping to get an update on how Garza died.
On the way home, I told my daughter, like, he was found in a bayou, but he knows how to swim.
The only belongings of Garza returned to Villarreal was over $100 in cash.
He had $130 in cash in his pocket.
And that was it?
That was it. So nothing was, I mean, he wasn't robbed. We can't say that he was robbed because he had, you know, quite a bit of cash on him.
Many questions that Villarreal says are all too common to be unanswered.
As a parent, I hope it wasn't suicide. You know, as a parent, I hope it wasn't murder. Could it have been his mental illness? I don't know. I mean, I won't know until, you know, it's looked into. I mean, I think there's a way that they can eliminate this by expediting the toxicology reports for these families, because you cannot be told your son has passed away, it's unknown, and you won't know for a year because the medical examiner's office is backlogged for a year.
And I spoke with Houston police earlier today. They have confirmed that they are still waiting for the medical examiner's office to release their autopsy results. That's whenever they'll be able to confirm a cause of death.
All right, so Garza is...
So very strange, but I'll read you more about it. They're saying the mysterious Houston Bayou death of Kenning Cutting Jr. will require more investigation than medical findings alone can provide, according to experts who reviewed the autopsy report. And according to a board-certified forensic pathologist said, I agree with their assessment. There's nothing definitive at autopsy to say why he died and if it was before or after the body entered the bayou. There you go, before or after. They say they declined to speculate about what may have happened and said the answer Cutting's family is seeking hinges on investigation. So they, even a pathologist is saying they don't know why, and there's nothing clear on the autopsy to say why this guy was in the water, someone who knows how to swim and ended up dead for random reasons. Yeah, backlogged a year, they said. A year for toxicology for non-urgent investigations. Yeah, non-urgent investigations, a year for toxicology. Just got an Amber Alert. Texas Cindy Casas Mayor. Let me see. There was an Amber Alert earlier for, like, I think 3 kids, all from the same family. What does it say on the Amber Alert thing? No, that looks like it got removed. There's only this one out of Montview, Idaho, that was from June. June? Rachel and Alan Fisher. What? From June? Oh, they're those kids. They're those Mormon kids. The ones who went got missing. Yeah. They reckon they're being hid. They reckon they're being hid by the church cult people. Where's DJ? DJ sent me a thing earlier today. There was one up here. If I can get it up on the screen. Yeah. Earlier today, there was this one here in Illinois, in Riverdale, Illinois. Nolan Hill, Nova Hill, Noah Hill, and Nia Hill. That family needs to, that's a very confusing family. You imagine you went to school with all of those children. Yeah. Yeah, imagine you went to school with all those children. Nolan, Nova, Noah, and Nia. But this one seems to have been removed already, and DJ sent it to me like a few hours ago. So, a child abduction. Cindy Mayer. Let me have a look. Cindy Mayer. I'm not seeing, at least not on my side of things, I'm not seeing a. It's not showing up anywhere over here yet. Yeah, suspect. Magali Meja Sanchez, 32-year-old male. Yeah, because it's not showing up, and it would probably be on this site if there was an active Amber Alert. It would be on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It would have come up on here pretty quickly, because this place gets their information from the clearinghouse. So they tend to be like the first person who posts anything about it. Yeah, hopefully it's already been solved. Yeah. So let's go back to the one in Houston. I don't know what to tell you except for it's almost turning into the Rainy Street Ripper from San Antonio. The lake up there, Ladybird Lake. It's almost turning into its own version of Ladybird Lake down here in Houston. It's very similar, and it's starting to get the same sort of like reputation. According to people who live locally, they think their Democratic mayor has been gaslighting the entire city about this so-called non-serial killer, and the city is very, very angry. I would be angry too. You got a family here who says that they don't think their family member should be dead, and they don't have an explanation for why he died. So let me have a look here. There's another photo of Kenneth Cutting. He's a young fellow we just heard about. I just want to see here. It's very interesting that they also have similar stories. So both McKissick and Cutting had left the bar by themselves the last night they were seen alive. Both did not have their phones on them. Both ended up in the water. And both ended up dead. Very similar stories. There's a little bit of alcohol there. There's a little bit of sort of very similar to San Antonio with the Ladybird Lake. When they were talking about that, it was a similar thing. Young men who had been drinking in Rainy Street were winding up in the water. So I don't know if it's got something to do with alcohol. Maybe the alcohol is the serial killer. Could be. They're saying here that Cutting was only wearing pants, underwear, and a belt, and a single earring when he was found. The 22-year-old's shoes, shirt, and other earring, and an Apple Watch were all missing. It sounds like a robbery. The father said police told him the death was an accidental drowning, but he disagrees, saying, first of all, he knew how to swim, Second of all, he shouldn't have been nowhere near that bayou. He also points out that his son did not look blackout drunk in the surveillance video and highlighted the fact that toxicology report came back negative. So it's a little bit of a mystery as to why Kenneth Cutting Jr. ended up in the water back over the summer. So it was a while ago that it happened, but we're starting to hear these names come out about people who are contributing to the number of these people found in the bayou. I'll take you back to when this very first happened, okay? When he was missing. So he was missing at one point in time, then they found him. Hopefully this one you can hear.
Well, new tonight, Houston police are investigating after a 22-year-old walked out of a bar Friday in downtown. Hasn't been seen since. Take a look at your screen here. This is who family, friends, and police are looking for. Kenneth Cutting. Fox 26's Abigail Dye joining us live with details on this case and the ongoing search. Abigail.
Well, Rashi, police and family, they tell us that Kenneth was out Friday night here at Pete's Dueling Piano Bar in downtown. He was last known to be here around midnight, and then at one point he got into a car with two of his roommates. They headed east on I-10, got in an argument, and his roommates dropped him off somewhere in 5th Ward, and that was the last time that he was seen. He also allegedly left behind his phone and his wallet. The next day is when his family found out, and they contacted police.
Since we found out, we haven't stopped. Sun up to sundown, we've been putting out flyers. We've been making phone calls. We've tried to do everything we can on social media to get it out there. We won't stop until we find out what happened.
Essentially, he's out at this bar with his friends. He gets a little unruly, according to them. They get in the car, go down I-10, headed east. They drop him off near 5th Ward, and that's the last time anyone has heard from him or seen him.
We haven't heard from him or seen him pretty much since. The last hard thing that we know of where he was at was Pete's Piano Bar on Friday night. We got a Snapchat at 11:45, and that was really the last, well-known thing that we've seen.
That's back when he was missing. Then they found him in the bayou. I think it was a day later. Really sad. Glad we're hearing more about these people who are winding up in places like Buffalo Bayou. It's hard to know, but they're saying here the autopsy lists Cutting's cause and manner of death as undetermined, although he had fluid in his lungs. Could be from water inhalation when he went in the bayou. They're saying there's no way to know whether it was present before his death or after. They're saying making the assertion that he accidentally drowned impossible to confirm medically. They're saying food particles were found in his throat, but he had an empty stomach, were consistent with normal decomp. And they said it happens naturally as the muscles relax. And they're saying that it's probably more important that they look at his digital breadcrumbs around that night and try and figure out what took place after he left Pete's Dueling Piano Bar in downtown Houston. I'm just trying to find out here a bit more. Yeah, so could someone have pushed him in? Could someone have beat him up? It's very possible. I mean, his sort of autopsy sounds very, mundane, run-of-the-mill. It doesn't sound extraordinary. This is where they found him, in this part of the bayou, right here. What an awful place to wind up in your final moments on Earth. They dragged him out of this bayou, and let me show you here. Here is when they recovered his body on the banks of that bayou right there. So pretty awful. Not something you ever want to have happen to anyone, you know. Hey, Brody, how are you? You got a membership? That's very nice. Who gave it to you? Was it Mr. Dan Yee? Mr. Dan Yee gave it to you? That's very kind of both of you. Thanks for dropping in and saying thank you to Danny for your membership. Gail said, did they not just say he was in car with friends and they kicked him out? They did. So is it their fault? Are they responsible? I would like to know. Chipmunk said, do you think they would have some trail cams up by now? They said like 4 weeks ago they were not going to do any new surveillance technology and invest anything into any more cameras, lighting, security, anything like that. They just had no no appetite for doing anything more than they're doing right now, because they, in their opinion, there is no problem. This is just what happens in Houston. People find their way into the water. So that's what they're saying. Yeah, I think we got one more video. Is this the one we watched before? Yeah, there's another one about Mr. Cutting here, and we'll play it.
Well, this next story is one that you will only see here on KHOU 11.
The family of a young man whose body was found in Buffalo Bayou last year is speaking exclusively with us after Houston police closed the case. Ugochi Aloka joined us live this morning. Ugochi, HPD says no foul play. What is the family saying?
Yeah, well, Jacob, that's right. Police say no foul play here. However, the family of Kenneth Cutting Jr. says they are not buying it. In fact, they say they are frustrated because they believe his case wasn't properly investigated. Now, Cutting's body was found in the Buffalo Bayou just 3 days after he went missing last July. Take a look at your screen. This is 22-year-old Kenneth Cutting Jr. His family says what's strange is the finding of what the ME's office calls medical hardware in Kenneth's neck. His family says he never had any surgeries. Now let's go back to Cutting's disappearance. After going to Pete's Piano Bar in July of 2024, his roommates reported there was an altercation inside their car. They say Kenneth jumped out at the Waco exit near I-10. After that, they say they never saw him again.
Wait, what was that? Medical hardware in his neck. What the F does that mean? Hold on. Let me look up this. Medical hardware neck. I can't find anything, but that's a strange... It's not coming up on my searches. Hold on, let's go back in the video. They had a diagram. This is the diagram that they put up. Thyroid and carotid, I can't read it. Atraumatic. Autopsy. God, can't read doctor's handwriting. Autopsy artifact. So it means probably they did it during autopsy. The hell does medical hardware... And the family said he's never had any surgery either. Carolina said, what a comment. It would be easy to know if that was medical. His family said he's not had any sort of medical on his neck. And they're saying, but when he was found, they did find some sort of... Yeah, this is very strange. How do you end up with some medical hardware? I hear Morning says probably rods or pins in the neck because of a neck injury. You would think his family would be aware if he broke his neck and was in hospital having surgery, right? You would think like that would be something they would know about. It's not like he would break his neck and hide it from his family. Let me play it again. That's very strange.
Never had any surgeries.
Yeah.
Strange is the finding of what the ME's office calls medical hardware in Kenneth's neck. His family says he never had any surgeries. Now let's go back to Cutting's disappearance. After going to Pete's Piano Bar in July of 2024, his roommates reported there was an altercation.
Yeah, that's very strange. For someone who has a pretty good relationship with his family, unless it was something that happened and he kept it from his family, didn't want to worry them, and he had some sort of accident after he moved out of home or something. Sounds all a bit weird. It sounds like major surgery. Um, hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Brian E. Brian E. I don't know. I don't know who Brian E. is. Sorry. Did an interview with the father and cousin yesterday of this guy. I thank you for letting me know. I don't know who Brian E. is. Brian Enton? Is that who you mean? Brian Enton from News Nation? That's probably the last one I saw. Yeah. I will have a look. I can't use anything from News Nation though. Brian Enron. No, she means Brian Enton. Thanks for letting me know. SP Mom said, when my mother-in-law had neck surgery as well, was months and months for the slightest issue. Yeah, but it's not like someone would attack you and be like, here, I have some medical hardware and I'm going to put it in your neck and then put you in the river. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think someone's going to be like, I'm going to practice surgery on you and then dump you in a bayou. I don't know that. Yeah, doesn't seem likely.
Inside their car. They say Kenneth jumped out at the Waco exit near I-10. After that, they say they never saw him again. Kenneth's body was found floating in the water more than a mile from the spot where he was last seen. HPD didn't rule it a homicide, cleared the roommates, and closed the case. His family says his case is like many of the others who have been found in the bayous across the city.
I think that it was a quick wash of the hands. They couldn't find evidence super quick. So at this point, they said, oh, sorry, it's just closed. Proper investigation wasn't done.
Very suspicious.
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions there for the family. Still trying to get those questions answered over a year later. Now, coming up in the next.
Well, there you go. I mean, pretty horrible. Yeah, so I can't use anything from Brian Enton. Sorry, but I will check into it. But I can't use it. He will come down on me like a ton of bricks for using his content. And I don't want to do that to him anyway. So, let me see if I can find a second source for the information. No evidence of homicide. Yeah, here. So WAHS 11 says, family says key details remain unexplained, including reference to medical hardware found in Cutting's neck. In the autopsy report, his relatives said he never underwent any surgical procedures. Medical hardware. Unless it was done during autopsy. The only thing that I could think of is it may have been done during autopsy for some reason. For some unknown, maybe there's something they used to stabilize his head or something. I'm not sure. SPM said, unfortunately, he looks like a pretty boy with suspicion. I wish they would show more photos and life events. That would be good. Thank you. Thank you, Laurie. I will check into it. Medical hardware usually has serial numbers, right? So they'd be able to probably track it down through the manufacturer and probably find out what hospital it was done in. In the other bodies, the thing is, the Houston Police Department hasn't released much information about any of the other 26, 27 bodies that have been in the water. They've released. This is probably the most information we've got with Cutting, but the other ones, there's been very little information. Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of like more names, but they They said they would when they could. So when is that? When is that? When can we? When is like appropriate? When will they do it? I don't know. Let's see. My search results are acting very strange. Hold on. Apparently we are Google is having a strange moment. Please recover another body. Yeah, I don't think there's been that many. The last one I see is October 8 that they recovered a body from White Oak Bayou. And I think that's the that's sort of the last one, I would think. But yeah, no real information about the other people. I think we got a little bit of like age range and ethnicity range, that type of thing. But other than that, I don't think we got very much. I'm just trying to see if there is anything else. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I think this is the most we've heard with this fella. Yeah, let's go here. Anything else here from Mr. Cutting? There's the map. So I think these show you sort of where most of them have been found. The bayou that runs through the city here, I think this is Buffalo Bayou, this one that runs through here. This is the one where they found the majority of the people. And then if you zoom out, the other ones have sort of been on the outskirt. So these ones that are all further out, I would suggest that these would most likely be anomalies. But the ones that run through the city, all through the same region, all through here, yeah, Buffalo Bayou, these would be the ones that I would be worried about. You know, the fact that they are so closely related. Like, look at this. At least 2 of them were found almost in the same location. Then just around the corner, you have another one here. And then there's one further down that was probably found here in the water. And then there was another 2 that were found on this bend here. So these ones I would be more interested in. These ones I'm guessing were probably outliers. I don't think if you had a serial killer, I don't think he would drop like most of them here and then start scattering them further out. I think that would be a strange change in MO. So these would be the ones that would be interesting to know more about. Did he still have an Adam's apple? Everyone's very interested in Adam's apples this week. I don't know. Let me have a look. Looks like it in his photo. Here's a photo of him. That looks like an Adam's apple right there. And if you see this photo here, this photo was taken on the night, I think. It does look like he has an Adam's apple. If we go here, right here, there is an Adam's apple. So yeah, it looks like he does. I wouldn't think that it is being surgically removed or something. He does just look like a normal dude. So I don't know where the medical hardware came from. That's something that needs to be talked about more. Definitely. Let's see. Kim says they are trying to sweep it under the rug. Definitely. SP1 said, well, the medical harder take out the... So trans people could have no idea. What? The medical harder take out the Adam's apple? I don't know. No idea. Not sure. Ah, shoot. Yeah, not sure. All right. Let me take you over. Yeah, if you, well, okay. There's a clearer photo of him. Not as prominent in this photo, but I don't see any surgical scarring either. On the photos, I don't see any like incision. Hold on. Is that a medical scar right here on his chin? I don't know if this is just a bad photo or do you see this on the chin? It almost looks like an incision on the bottom part of his chin, but I don't know how that would affect his neck or throat area, but that almost looks like a scar that is still healing, but it could be just a bad photo. It's a little pixelated. Kathy said, I think he had something done to his Adam's apple. What would you have done to it? Would you have it removed? The medical hardware was to replace the Adam's, or something went wrong, so they dumped him. Right. Okay. I mean, he was out drinking at night. It's not exactly the time for a medical operation. They shave it down? Okay. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, possibly. You think it's chin stubble? It almost looks like a surgical incision that's healing, but it is a bad photo. So he just has very straight hair. There's not many two other photos of him, unfortunately. I don't think I have too many more of him. Just this one here. Just this one here. And in this one, you can see that, like, yeah, that's from his Facebook account. He does have his Adam's apple in that one, so. Kathy said he might not tell his parents if he was transitioning. Okay, could be true. Lindy said shaving Adam's apple wouldn't leave hardware. That's a good point. I don't know what that means. It could have just been something as simple as it could have been just something done in autopsy that wasn't explained correctly on the autopsy report, like something they put in there to stabilize his neck or a billion other things. That pic is so fake, he's not happy. I mean, he's not here to ask him, so I can't ask him if he's happy or not in that photo, unfortunately. Let's go up here. All right. I wish I had better information, but that's all that's really come out aside from the stuff on Brian Enton. Yeah, let me close all this. All right. I'm just going to have a look over here.
Tonight, the family of a young man whose body was found in Buffalo Bayou last year is sitting down.
Yeah, let's have a look. Any new information on this one? So Houston police told KHOU 11 on Wednesday that Cutting's death investigation is closed, saying there were no signs of foul play and his death was not a homicide. Cutting's relatives say they plan to continue pressing for answers and note that the medical examiner's report states that they could not rule out foul play. It seems pretty drastic by the PD to go against the medical examiner. Normally, whatever the medical examiner says, the PD goes with. So a bit strange that the medical examiner is like, oh, we can't determine how this man died. and we can't rule out foul play. But the PD's like, oh, we're just closing the case. He died accidentally. There's no foul play. When that is not what the autopsy and
Esposito tonight, the American Red Cross is helping families displaced after lightning.
Shush video, shush. 20%, but no. They're saying here, Cutting's relatives say they plan to continue pressing for answers. They say this is a 22-year-old kid who that showed up in Buffalo Bayou and nobody gives a flip about it. A proper investigation was not done, according to the family. And the family said he did not fall in that bayou. Somebody put him there. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you can't rule it out, can you? You can't rule it out. Well, I hope his family get the answers that they deserve to be able to move on and, be at peace at what happened to Kenneth. It's very sad. SP1 said, any chance your wife wants to start her own YouTube and how to heal and gain weight after lifelong issues with surgery and issues? She's camera shy, and I can't even get her to come on the channel with me and talk true crime, even though she talks my ear off every day about true crime and different cases and what she thinks about it. And I keep telling her, I'm like, you should come on my channel. Everyone would love it if I had a co-host, and it would be really cool if it was you. And I've tried to broach the topic with her several times, and she's just like, nope, nope, I don't want to do it. And I think her having her own channel altogether would be very daunting for her. She's not she's technology savvy, but she wouldn't know how to do this, like the live streaming and things like that. Like, she knows how to use a phone and a computer, and she doesn't know how to do live streaming and YouTube and content creation and stuff like that. Even off camera. I mean, if you want to ask her something, I'll pass it along and see what I can give you a reply from her, but I don't know if she would be into that. Carolina said, behind every great man, there's an amazing woman. That is true. I had the worst joke then, and I was almost going to say it, but I was like, it's way too dirty for this time slot. Gayla said she has a teacher there. Yeah, well, that's true, but I don't know. I don't know. She maybe wouldn't do it. Kim said, I love you guys share that interest. My husband isn't into true crime. We've been watching true crime together for 20 years. Like, we used to watch like the Sky News. I think I told that story before, and we're watching like Madeleine McCann and things like that. Oh, okay. Actually, she's here. Give me 2 minutes. I have to help her with something. Entertain yourselves. I have to help her because she can't get in the big door by herself when it's windy, because she's very, very light, and it blows her around. So I have to go help her. I'll be back in a minute. Entertain yourselves. Talk about Kenneth Cutting Jr. All right, I'm back. I'm huffing and puffing a little bit because I had to carry shopping in. Here she is. You want to say hi? I don't think they can hear you from. Hello. Come in. You sound like you're stranded on a shipwreck island. Hello. Is there anyone out there? Oh yeah. I think our whole apartment block heard that. You sound like someone trying to signal down a ship when you're lost on an island. Heard a rumble. We'll have to get her one. Like we have the little microphones, so we'll have to No, we've got the little tiny microphones, the little tiny ones. Yeah, she like screamed like hello. It was like super loud. Like my neighbors would have been able to hear it. Like it was so loud. Too much sugar for you. What did you buy? She got Japanese Kit Kats because that's what she wanted. Strawberry ones. Where are they? Yeah. Thanks. She got Japanese Kit Kats because this is what she wanted. She got Japanese strawberry Kit Kats from Japan. That's what she wanted.
Up first tonight, the family of a young man whose body was found in Buffalo Bayou last year is sitting down.
Shut up. Stupid video. Why does it play like that? Yeah, so she got that. SP1 said Japanese candy is amazing. She got a show bag the other week because I had Japanese candy in it. Rachel said would be happy if Mrs. Ping just joined off chat in the chat off screen. You know, they were asking before I came out to help you. They were like, you should set up your own channel to talk about dealing with health issues and recovery from surgery. Is that something you want to do? What are your recovery techniques for surgery? Yeah, like what have you done to get better again? Yeah, resting. Lots of resting. Lots of TV and eating lots of candy. Yeah, a lot of protein. Yeah, the doctors had her on like tons of protein. She's supposed to eat it 3 times a day, but she doesn't. But she's supposed to. Yeah. So no. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. She's been a bit slack. Gail said, yeah, she got a show bag from the Melbourne show. She could have an avatar like Insightful one on Web Sleuths. We'd have to set up like a second microphone, which we can do, but I think we have a spare microphone. We could have 2 microphones running. Yeah. SP Mom said rest. I have 3 boys. Rest doesn't work, but candy. Oh, my chili sauce. Yeah, so I think they were asking her to do 3 times a day, and it was supposed to be like 50 grams per portion 3 times a day.
Portion, they just said to include protein with each meal.
Each meal.
So something at breakfast, something at lunch. Which I mean, I mainly do if you think about it.
Yeah.
But they didn't give an amount.
Yeah. Okay.
But then now they're asking me to have like another protein shake just to get my weight up.
Yeah. So they want to put her on a like workout shake type thing that has extra protein in it because her weight has sort of plateaued. So she came out of hospital and she did put on a good portion of weight back to a more healthy weight range from then looking like a Holocaust victim. So she looks more back to normal and doesn't look sick anymore. But because she's going to have a second surgery next year, they want her to be like another 5 kilos higher, and it's been difficult because her diet is actually quite high calorie at the moment, but it's not budging off the I won't give out the number, but it's just not budging off the number that she's at. It's sort of stuck like that for the last couple of months, hasn't it? It's like it won't move, and we've been eating like absolute crap. Like we've been at so many family gatherings, and there's been a lot of meals out and eating at different because we had so many functions and family things on recently, and at least every 2 weeks we've been at a restaurant where we've been eating like bad food and stuff. So SP1 said, I'm returning my protein shake. It looks like it's all metallic magnets attached to the spoon. What? I wouldn't eat that. I use the one I use is where is it? The one I use is from the world's largest protein company that makes like protein byproducts, and they're like the world's largest, and they're known for being good quality. Hold on. Yeah, Optimum. So the one I use is called Optimum Nutrition, and I use the gold standard whey protein. It's a little more expensive than the cheap stuff, but it's really good quality protein powder. And I found it doesn't give you so many stomach issues if you have it. What is going on? There we go. This is the one I use, and you don't have to get it in chocolate. They have like birthday cake flavor and this and that, but this is the one that I use because it's I think it's the best. SP1 said, I'll send you a photo. It's crazy. Why on why is the iron metallic? I think iron is a metal, and it is made from metal, and it's metallic. Oh, okay. Genepro? Okay, I don't know that one. I'll have a look. You like protein that is plain? This one is the highest. I can't remember what it is. It's like the highest quality lab tested one that doesn't have like, if you know how like pro sport athletes keep going, I had no idea those steroids were in my protein powder, and there's a lot of protein powders on the market and things like that for nutrition and working out and stuff that's been adulterated with other substances because they want you to keep buying the product, and if you don't get results, then you don't come back and buy the product. So they modify it and add things that they don't put on the label, bad things for you, so that you get the results, right? So there's a lot of ones on the market that have anabolic pre this and stuff that that it's not good for you. This one is like lab tested, and it's the ones that athletes use, so there's no adulterated things in it. It's at least for me, I found this is the best one. But okay, all right. It would make you ill. I think there's this one, the zero sugar one. I can't remember. There's one in this one that's like zero sugar. It's got, yeah, this one's 97% sugar free. I think it's only got like, it's 3 grams per 100 grams, and you're not going to have 100 grams. You're only going to have 30 grams. So in a 30-gram portion, it has like 0.7% sugar. So it's like almost nothing. So very, very small. But anyway, this is just the one I use. I find it's the best one. I used a different company before, and I found it gave me a lot of stomach problems. So that's true. Whey is dairy? Yes, I can drink dairy. It causes you to choke. Whey does. Interesting. I guess it's not for everyone. Hey, Jay, what's up? Wow. Long story. Mrs. Ping came home, and they got her onto talking about health for a second. We were just talking about the bodies in the bayou, before. All right, let's move on. I do have a different story I want to talk to you about in Texas. So we're going to stay in Texas again. Texas has had a bad week. I think this week has been extremely busy. We've had several stories almost every night in Texas. So I want to go to this one. Hopefully my links will work. Yep, here we go.
A disturbing discovery in Belmead today. A man's decomposing body was found in a home. The man's daughter is now behind bars facing charges, and this is an idea of where that home is on East Harris Street. News 10's Jessica Rajkumar talked with neighbors this afternoon and joins us with more.
According to authorities, the victim had signs of decomposition and was covered in filth from multiple dogs in the house. This is a difficult situation for the residents who live in this area. According to the property owner, James Smith, he says it's usually a quiet community. Smith says that the victim was Jerry Freeman and has lived in the home with his daughter, Crystal Martin, since before 2009. He described him as a nice man who was dealing with diabetes and other health issues at the time of his death. A next-door neighbor said people came to the home for a medical wellness check for Freeman, and they were the ones who called 911. Both the property manager and the neighbor said that Martin was dealing with substance abuse issues. This case is still under investigation. Belmead PD Chief Sean Myatt says he will get back with us on what more they can release soon. In studio, Jessica Rajkumar, KWTX News 10.
So this one popped up on my reading for I read every day. I put flags on different types of keywords, and this one popped up. And his name is Jerry Freeman. He's 66 years old, was found in a mobile home in Belmead in the 4000 block of East Harris earlier this week. And they're saying, according to neighbors, police discovered Freeman's body Wednesday during a wellness check by healthcare workers who subsequently called the police. Police arrived on the scene shortly before 3 p.m. that day. And they're saying here, Freeman's daughter, Crystal, she's 44, had lived in the home with Freeman since 2009. And apparently had continued to do so as her father lay dead inside the home and had made no attempt to alert law enforcement of him being deceased. A police officer stated in the arrest warrant for Crystal, "I could observe bloating and lividity with the corpse." It also mentioned that the filth the bloated man was found in was from multiple dogs in the home. So not only was his body left there for a long period of time, it was also desecrated by dog poop. Apparently he was found covered in dog excrement around him. So Crystal had been living in the home with her father's remains and letting the animals just run amok inside the home and not cleaning it. I honestly think that is the last of her problems, but hey, you got a dead body. It's pretty awful. Okay, I'll have a look. Sorry, sometimes when the stream starts and you guys have been talking, it doesn't show me what you guys were talking about. It just shows me what happens from when I press live. So we don't always get to see it. So let me look up Crystal Martin. That's her name. She's 44. She's been arrested for it. Decomposing body inside the home. So she has been charged. According to the information I have here, she has been charged with the death of her father. I'm just trying to get more information. Here's a photo of her too, by the way. There's a photo for you. They're saying she's facing charges. She's only been charged with abuse of a corpse and resisting arrest. So far, no charges in relation to his actual death, but due to the state of his decomposition, maybe it's going to take a little while for them to figure it out. Khaleesi said, cannot imagine the smell. It must have smelled terrible. You got dog poop everywhere and a dead man who was bloated and had signs of lividity. So he's been there a while. He's been dead a while. Awful. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she's 44. Yeah, she looks very friendly, right? Nope, apparently not. Well, they said in the other video she has had issues with drug abuse, so she's a addict. Unfortunately, that would explain why she left the house in that state and then didn't call about her father, because she was probably too busy spending his money and being doped up. You know, she probably. Yeah, bloating takes a while. He'd been there a while for sure. She's ready for her glamour shots. Yeah. But poor Jerry Freeman. I wanted to see if we could find a photo of him. Did they show us one in the other video? I don't think they did. Oh, check this out. Here's a trailer. They put something here. It's a violation of Chapter 4, Article 5 of the City of Belmead Code of Ordinance to remove this placard. This building is unsafe and its use or occupancy has been prohibited by the building official. Because of a dead body, or is that why? I don't know. Or is it just because of the bio? It could be the biohazard. It could be the biohazard. Hey, Carolina. WXPI in Arizona says woman found her relative dead for days in nursing home. We read about that one the other week where a guy had actually wandered in the nursing home and walked into a freezer, and he wasn't found for like 12 hours. By the way, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Khaleesi said the smell of a dead body is just the worst. Was she actually living in the house at the time? She was. It's a terrible biohazard with feces and dead rotting corpse. Yes. Yes, it is condemned now. Yeah, definitely condemned. Yeah, poor guy. Let's see if we I wanted to see if we could find a photo of him. Jerry Freeman. I don't see one. Just checking a local news site. No, that's not it. But they're saying there is no foul play in the death of the dad, apparently. Daughter charged just with abuse of the corpse, yeah. At this time, no foul play is suspected in Freeman's death. So the daughter is in state jail under a felony right now. And they're saying the case is still under active investigation and more details will be released as the investigation allows. So in the future, we will get a update to this particular case. So it might just be a little while. I was going to say she bought a dollar store air freshener. She might have. Yeah. Hey, Miss Woozy, how are you? Hey, RX Girl, how are you, my friend? Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Good to see you again. Are you working third shift again? Are you back at work again? You let me know. I'd like to know. But good to see you. Hey, by the way, we have a key lime pie. We have a Marie Callender key lime pie that we found yesterday. And I've never tasted key lime pie in my life. Mrs. Ping has never had key lime pie either. You've never had key lime pie, have you, girl? No. Mrs. Ping says she's never had key lime pie either. So we are going to try a key lime pie as well. Hey, Kathy, how are you, my friend? Thank you. Body found on fire hanging from a bridge. Okay. Let me see. Your link took me to here. A 404 error. Why did it do that? Let's have a look. I'll try and find it. Nope, that didn't work. Let's see. Okay, this is the story you're asking about. It's here on KHOU 11.
Thank you, Jalissa. And now we want to warn you, this next story, hard to hear. A man's body found hanging underneath the East Loop. It happened late last night. Our Ugochi Iloka joining us near the scene along Kirkpatrick Boulevard. And Ugochi, details from the story even more grim.
Sadly, that's correct. We're told that the man's body was actually on fire when it was found last night in this spot where officials say they only later realized it was a man's body that was on fire and dangling from a rope on the underside of this 610 freeway. This is video of officers just after 10 p.m. last night looking around after HFD responded to a fire here near the 5000 block of Kirkpatrick and 610. It was Union Pacific employees who first found the scene and called Houston firefighters, first reporting that this was a brush fire. However, that was not the case. Officials say when firefighters put out the flames, they discovered it was a man's body partially set ablaze and hanging from a rope. HPD says those firefighters got the fire out, but the man did not survive. A lieutenant investigating the tragedy says a homeless encampment is here too, but they aren't sure where the man was initially set on fire. She tells us she doesn't think his death was a suicide.
If he's not just hanging, it's like there's also the fire, so then it's like, well, what actually killed him? We don't know that. I mean, of course, that'll be something that, detectives and after the autopsy report comes out.
And the lieutenant you just heard from there says, unfortunately, there were no witnesses around when they first responded to the scene. If you know anything about this investigation or have information, you're asked to please call Houston Police or Crime Stoppers.
Pretty awful. By the way, I just copped a look at the radar coming out of Houston right now. Wow. You guys have a hell of a storm going on down there. The radar across Houston right now. I'll show it to you. There is some absolute storms going across right now. Check this out. Houston having a hell of a night. That's a pretty special weather statement. I wonder if this is part of that hurricane that's coming up through the Gulf right now.
Now to a shocking story out of Northeast.
Yeah. So that person that was found, they're saying was found 10 p.m. Tuesday on fire. On fire? How do you get on fire and hang underneath a freeway? Are they? I want to see.
Hey there, Chris. Good morning.
I want to see if they're treating it. They're saying that the guy was between 40 and 50 years old, and they're saying that. Yeah, they can't tell whether he died from the hanging or the fire. And they said it seems very unlikely that the death was an S word. So they're saying the death was not an S word. Well, then how the hell did he get there? And who put the rope on him? That's brutal. If someone's done this deliberately, that is very concerning. Yeah, they're saying that it was not an S word. I'm just trying to find more information. They had a picture of the, this is what he was found hanging from, right here. This rope. That looks like a strap, not a rope. Almost like a strap from a car, like one of those ones that you tie down the vehicle with. That's what they said he was hanging from, this thing. That's concerning. Yeah, let me have a look over here. Hey, do they have a thing for it? Yeah, I'm going to take you to Click to Houston. They've got more information about it.
Now to a disturbing story that broke overnight. A man found hanging from an overpass and burned at 610 and Kirkpatrick. Now HPD homicide detectives are investigating a case with more questions than answers. KPRC 2's Devin Clark went out there to see what he could find out.
Today you can see what's left behind, a pile of burned rubble directly underneath a rope hanging from that underpass. This area appears to be a homeless encampment, but we are still waiting on the identity of the person who was found set on fire, hanged here. We're also trying to determine who did it.
Well, I wonder about who. I also just wonder about how. If it's not self-done, how did they get them up there? How did they get them tied up? This is very strange. Did someone tie them up and push them off the edge or something? Very strange. Gail said they didn't take the bloody rope as part of the evidence. Doesn't seem so. Yeah, it sounds like it's a homeless encampment. Here, let's have a look at this. Because look, underneath the bridge, they got rafters underneath. We'll go back to where it showed underneath. Look, it's not like someone could jump off the side of the bridge. So how did someone get tied in this thing if it's not self-done? How would you do that? Would you tie someone up, throw the rope over and yank them up, tie it off, and then set them alight? Because otherwise, how does that work? It's very strange. Wow, maybe. But, I mean, if it was on the edge of a bridge and someone had been pushed off, you could understand. But this is directly under the bridge. And it's under those, girder beams up the top there. So, there is some bit of information here that's not correct. There's something here that's missing. Jay said that was horrible how the reporters made the rope strap swing for effect. Yeah. Let's have a look. I mean, there is that
Appears to be a homeless encampment, but we are still waiting on the identity of the person who was found set on fire.
How sad. If that was one of our people who are sleeping rough and sleeping, under a bridge, then that is a very horrible demise for that poor person. I just don't. There you can see it's tied off here, right at the top. How would that happen? Ping believes there's a piece of information we're not being told, because I don't think you could lift that person on your own. It was at a group of people. How would you lift a human person who was alive at the time up into the air while strapped to that rope with no, they're not cooperative? Yeah. There's something here that we're not being told. Yeah, no way he could be thrown off the bridge because it's underneath the bridge. Yeah, it's definitely a homeless encampment. Kathy said, wouldn't it take several people to make this happen? That's what I think. It almost like maybe the person was living in that homeless encampment and maybe they didn't like them and kicked them out, and this was their punishment. Wow, maybe. Could be a message. I mean, the cartels do that. The cartels send messages like that, but normally in Mexico, not in Houston. But hey, you never know. But yeah, the cartel has been known to do that type of thing. I agree. Let's see. But I mean, possibly. I'm gonna try to find if we can. Is there any update from authorities at all? I'm not seeing any type of. Yeah. HPD said it's unclear where the man was initially set on fire, whether near a nearby homeless encampment or directly beneath the overpass. They say we do not know the circumstances surrounding the incident. There are no witnesses at this time that have come forward. There you go. They're saying Union Pacific employees first spotted the fire and called it in, not realizing a body was involved. Firefighters initially responded to what they thought was a brush fire, and when they put the flames out, they discovered a man's body hanging from the underside of the freeway and partially burned. Strange. They say the identity of the man, believed to be between 40 and 50 years old, is pending notification to family members. And they said it's also uncertain whether the man died from the hanging or the fire, and that will be determined by the medical examiner. There you go. Very strange. Very strange. I saw someone post here about Melody. We'll talk about Melody in a minute. But if I get more about this, I will let you know. Kelly said there's no way you could do this without people in the encampment noticing. Be curious to see if the PD does a thorough investigation. I agree. Let me see here. I didn't see this. I did not see where the authorities have now given a countdown to Ashley to show them that Melody is okay. I have not seen that anywhere. But if that is true, that is great news, because that is what I've been calling for like days and days and days. I've been calling for the cops to give her an ultimatum to produce the child or go to jail. So I have been saying the same thing. I'm trying to see if I can find where that came from. Yeah, okay, it's not in this article. If someone has where that was said by authorities, that she has until Monday. You heard it was 72 hours, but that has passed. Okay. Jay said, where did this happen? In Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is where this one happened. If that has already happened, I just don't know. Give her the Lori Vallow treatment. Arrest her, make it a full public display, bring her in, really make a dog and pony show about it, and try and put pressure on her to produce the child. Do that. That's what I would expect. I'm just trying to find out where this came from. Yeah. The mother of missing Melody Buzzard reportedly given 72 hours to reveal daughter's location, but that was a couple of days ago. That was a couple of days ago, and that looks like it was coming from Facebook. Here. A neighbor told the Daily Mail that Ashley was handed a notice on Monday giving her 72 hours to produce Melody or face arrest. Well, that's good, because I've been calling on that for like a week. Yeah. Oh, I was in the article we're reading yesterday. Good work, Ping. Good work. Somehow we missed this talking about Melody yesterday. Yeah, Melody's mother, Ashley Buzzard, has refused to cooperate with the search, and on Monday was handed a notice informing her that she had 72 hours to produce her daughter or provide information about her whereabouts or face arrest. Well, it's the frickin' weekend. How come you haven't arrested her then? It's now frickin', what is it, Friday night? Saturday night. Saturday night for Californians. You've given her 2 times 72 hours now. She's had twice as long. How come they haven't done anything or acted on it. Text Alana effort to do something like that? Okay. Ashley Buzzard talked about this today? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Like Lori Vallow. Yep, like Lori Vallow. Yeah, well then if she's had the notice served on her, then freaking arrest her ass. Do it. Because she ain't looking after a child. You know that right now. Here she is, Ashley Buzzard. I always wonder, look, I've got weird hair. Ping's got weird hair, right? I've got a weird haircut. So I have no right to be mean to anyone else about their hair. But her hair always freaks me out. It's a very strange haircut to me. It always makes me weird. Kelly said voice to text doesn't work all the time. It takes a lot of effort to do something like that. Sure. I agree. Khaleesa said, I guess it's business days, so the weekend doesn't count. Yeah, I guess that's how missing children work. Everyone just takes the weekend off, right? So on the weekend when a child is missing, everyone just puts down their, everyone just goes home. And then on Monday, they're like, right, we have a missing child to look for again. The police act like time isn't of the essence. I've said that from the beginning, that they don't seem to be in a big rush to do anything. They seem to be very laid back. They don't seem to be very panicked about anything. Fend for yourself at the weekend, apparently. Like the Purge. It's like the Purge on the weekend, apparently. Yeah. So if she's had that time, I say haul her ass in. Haul her ass in and throw her ass in jail. Just do it. Stop fucking around. I feel like that's what's going on. There's a lot of effing around going on and not a lot of action. Just haul her in. Don't knock on her door and be like, could you please tell us where Melody is? And when she slams the door in your face, you just leave. How about you just handcuff her and take her in and say, if she goes, well, what am I being handcuffed for? You say, because you can't give us the location of your child. There's a child missing. That's why you're being handcuffed. Kim says, I'm sure they are watching her, possibly. Maybe they're getting all their warrants in place. I hope so. Maybe Ellie is surveilling her every move right now. What costs more? It would save the authorities a lot of money to just bring her into jail, because then you don't have to watch her. You don't have to have authorities following her around. Waterboard her? I don't know about that. I just want to bring her in for questioning. I don't know about waterboarding her. maybe in your version of this, that is okay. Yeah, she comes across as very stuck up too, which is strange from a woman who is insanely in debt, apparently, and has run up credit card bills with several different companies. All right, let me see what else we got. It's a weekend, so we're not going to get much, apparently. Let's see. I don't think there really is new information, really. The LA Times have just only commented recently about the surveillance photos. But they are saying that they do believe that this isn't like a fashion choice, or a young girl being interested in modifying her hair. They do believe it is to change her appearance. That's what they 100% believe. It is to hide her identity. So if that's what they're coming out with, I would believe that's true. Jay said there is something going on with police disclosure. Like we are still waiting for info on the David case too. The David case has stalled out, completely stalled. There is no new information. There is really nothing going on. It's very like quiet, very quiet. Okay, good work. I'm glad your PD is doing a good job. Um, that's really it. I don't have anything else on Melody. That's like I've given you guys everything I know about it. That's really it. Hold on. Oh, my cats just ran. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys just hear that happen? We just got a whack of thunder and the cats just ran away. My cats just disappeared. Hold on. They all bolted. I just want to check the radar. Hold on. Oh, we got thunderstorms coming across Melbourne right now. Here you go. Thunderstorms heading across Melbourne. And that's why we're getting the thunder. So that's why my cats took off all of a sudden. Give me 1 second. I have to fix something. Otherwise, Muffin will be very scared with the thunder. Hold on. All right, I've put the cats somewhere safe. They're okay, but they may take off all of a sudden again. I wonder if Ashley is wearing wigs as part of her paranoia. It could be, because do you think that hair is natural that you see? I mean, her daughter does have very curly hair, and it's very pretty. But the mum, do you think the mum's wearing is that a wig, do you think, or do you think that's natural hair? Maybe the girls in our chat will know better than I will. I'm not sure if that's a wig or natural, or you guys would have to tell me. I have no idea. I've never worn a wig in my life. Well, I will. When I lose my hair, I will wear a toupee, all right? I will. I'm a vain guy. I will wear a toupee. Kaliza said, I love storms, but no one else in my house agrees. Miss Woozy said, I think she's wearing a wig. Look at the part line. It doesn't have any skin showing. It is sort of tight, isn't it? I would agree with you. By the way, I want to thank Carla for the donation to the Ko-Fi, and I want to thank my friend Vicky K for the donation to the Ko-Fi too. You guys are amazing. We will update the ending video tomorrow. So tomorrow it'll get updated. Anyone who donated through the week will get their names put on the video for the following week. So we do it once a week now, and we just add everyone's names. And we should have the membership and the super chat. I think it's tomorrow as well. because it's the end of the month for YouTube. So we will have that tomorrow. So if you've donated in the last week, your name will appear in the ending video from tomorrow. Jay said, I find it interesting the differences between nervous cats' barometric sensors and nervous dogs. Yeah, dogs seem to feel it coming. My cats, as soon as they even hear it, like from 10 miles away, they are gone. They do hear it too. Miss Woozy said, I thought I saw another pic of her when she was younger and her hair was blondish and straight. Really? Really? I want to see that. I want to see that. I saw a photo from when the mum was younger and she had like curly brown hair, very similar to the daughter. So I'm just trying to see if I can find the same photo again, but she had very, very similar hair to the daughter. Might have been just a slightly lighter. There we go. Yeah, from Lauren Crime. There's an older photo. She looks very much like her daughter in that photo. She has the same type of like curly brown hair. Chino Moore said that so looks like a wig. If a tornado went by, her hair wouldn't move. In a ponytail? I don't think I've seen that photo of Ashley. I don't think I've seen a photo like that. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that photo at all. I only see this. Like, oh, I can't bring it up. She looks. I don't mean to disparage anyone of how they look, but she always looks just a bit creepy or a bit strange in her photos. And look, Ping looks very creepy too, I promise. If I was standing outside your window, you would be very frightened. But her photos just always look a little off, like just a bit strange. Could it be dreadlocks from the lack of care? Could be. It's bizarre to me that no one has more recent pics of Melody. 2 to 3 years that photo is. That's why in the surveillance footage, she looks very different because no one has a photo of her for the last couple of years, and she looks nothing like the other photos that we've seen of her. There's the photos from the surveillance, and she looks very, very different. Mountain Bee says the recent photos have her hair pulled back in a low ponytail, it appears. That is true. I think she used filters or something on her daughter's pictures. Okay. It is a very skinny 9-year-old. Very skinny 9-year-old girl. SPM said she has the crazy mama eyes like she was a bad girl hiding behind a sweet look. Possibly. Kathy said her hairline seems to be halfway back on her scalp. That would be a reason to wear a wig. Well, that is true. She does have a very Mrs. Ping, come here. Come look at this photo. Mrs. Ping's a girl, aren't you? Yeah. Here. Put your hand out. Just so I can tell on the camera where you are. Okay. So here, you don't come past here.
Oh, okay.
Does that look like a wig to you? Yeah, I can show you a better photo. That's not a better photo. There. Oh, there you go.
Hard to I'm not sure if it's hair, it's like in the hair plugs or something. I don't know. It's like, are they bald patches there, or are they just like?
Oh yeah, like at the back there. Look, that white line.
Like, is that?
Or her hair's just clumped.
Or her hair's just like really flat against her face, like her head. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is a wig. Because it looks very like that. Looks very gappy. If it was a wig, it'd be full.
Okay. Mrs. Ping says there is some sort of weird like gappiness going on at the back, and I'll show you what she's talking about. Here, there's like a white line that runs down here, and I don't know if you guys can see it on your screens, but there's some sort of like weird part or something here, and it almost looks like a bald spot, or it's the under part of a wig maybe. But Mrs. Ping said her hair's very gappy, and she said that doesn't seem very normal for a young lady. Kathy Lynch said she doesn't have enough hair on top to have bangs. She may have bought a bang piece. I often buy bang pieces. That's right. She is. SP1 said that photo looks like someone who doesn't want to be associated with who she is or what she's doing. 180-degree change. And those glasses, yeah, it's all a bit strange. Okay. I mean, it's pretty common. It's pretty common. Like, there's a lot of women who use hair extensions or, you know, those wigs where they're like a partial wig where they weave it in on a certain part to make it cover gaps or medical issues. There's women that have medical issues, stuff like that. You're telling Mrs. Ping? She's right here. She heard the joke. She heard the joke. She laughed. She heard it. She's laughing now. Yeah, she heard. Yes. Kaliza said, the adult person in the pics of Melody at the rental place is what gets me. No 9-year-old girl, no 9-year-old is going to be wearing that purse. She's got a purse? It just looks like a side bag. What do you call it? Like a side body purse thing. Ping doesn't know the name. Like a side body bag. They're pretty common. I think they're pretty fashionable. Like a lot of the girls have that now, even young girls. Like that sort of like across the chest thing is pretty common. They make them even in like Adidas and things like that. So a satchel bag. It sort of looks like a satchel bag. Yeah, crossbody bag. Yeah, they're very popular. I wouldn't. If I saw a 9-year-old wearing that, I wouldn't look twice. I'd just be like, oh, okay, because they all have them now. Yeah, they're pretty fashionable. SP1 said, I had someone looking through my bedroom window once, and then actually had an intruder in the doorway of my bedroom last week. None related, but just the same. Should have given him a show. He may have come back a fourth time. That's it. I don't really have too much more, but I will bring you a story out of Nebraska. Here, I'm going to bring you a story out of Nebraska. Hopefully it'll play for us.
Couple is accused of sex trafficking a high school student. Investigators say 36-year-old Elizabeth Love and her boyfriend, 42-year-old Jared Kraus, were arrested Friday after a student reported inappropriate behavior over the past few weeks. Love has worked as an educator and transition coordinator with ESU 11 for several years, traveling to multiple school districts across south central Nebraska. Prosecutors have now charged her with sex trafficking of a minor and sexual grooming by a school employee. Kraus is charged with sex trafficking of a minor. Both are being held in the Phelps County Jail on a 10% of $250,000 bond. If convicted, they could face up to life in prison and lifetime registration as sex offenders. The investigation is ongoing, and police say they are not aware of any other victims at this time.
All right, you see the details on the screen? The woman's name is Elizabeth Love and was busted after the student told a school employee that she had inappropriate interactions with the teacher at Holdridge, Nebraska. Her boyfriend's name is Jack Cross. He's 41 and he was charged on one count of sex trafficking a minor. And they say the investigation into Miss Love and Mr. Cross began after current high school student who Miss Love was instructing through her employment as a transition coordinator and teacher, reported inappropriate interactions with the couple over the past few weeks. And they're saying here, a student at one of the schools reported an incident with the couple on October 14. The current high schooler claims she first overheard a phone conversation in August between Love and her partner, in which Cross allegedly told Love he wanted to have sex with the student. Several months later, on October 11, the report alleges that Love picked the girl up and brought her to Love's Holdridge home. There, apparently, Kroll reportedly led her upstairs to the bedroom and made a request of the student that she interpreted as sexual. So these two apparently have been fiddling with minors, and this woman has been procuring students from the school to appease her boyfriend. That's what it seems like. She's been like picking up students out of a trusted workplace to basically abuse for this guy. Here he is. There's Mr. Cross there. Very awful. These two need to go straight to jail. Straight to jail. No trial. You guys go straight to jail. Yeah, these two are gross. So Elizabeth has been arrested and charged with sex trafficking and grooming by a school employee. And apparently they both, Jared is the partner and Love, Elizabeth, have a lifetime in prison if convicted on those offenses. And apparently they even tried to pay the student for her to be quiet. They're saying here, Love apologized and told the student not to tell anyone before giving her $100 in $20 increments. They're saying Love later claimed that the money was intended to be a gift for a new phone, not hush money. Sounds very much like hush money. Sounds like you paid the girl to be quiet because she got freaked out at your boyfriend, Jared. Pretty awful. Let me look up what else we can find about these two depraved individuals. Only in Nebraska, apparently. Let's see. I wonder if we can find a press conference for these two. Yeah. And they're saying that Miss Love and Mr. Cross were arrested after an investigation commenced by the Holdridge Police Department. And they're saying here, interesting. So the woman, Elizabeth, traveled to as many as 15 schools throughout the south central Nebraska region. And they're saying, but they only think it's only one victim at this time, but they're not completely sure. And they're asking any victims to come forward and report it to the PD. They're both on $250,000 of bond. And they're saying if convicted of the crimes alleged, they both face a life in prison in Nebraska. And they also face lifetime placement on the Nebraska SO registry. They're due to appear in court on this Monday at 10 a.m. in Phelps County. So we'll probably get a lot more information when they appear in court on Monday. So we'll probably hear a lot more about these two. What's up? What's up, Jay? Oh. Jay, it can be we do have the links in the chat, but if you don't know how to use them, I don't want to force anyone to use them if they don't know how. But we have the links in this message. I don't think I can I make this message go again? Nightbot will post it again, but it doesn't really matter. The only reason I tell people about this message here, where is it? Is because YouTube does take 30% of anything you do with membership, super chat, or super thanks. They do take 30% from the creator. But if you can use the Ko-Fi, we appreciate it. But it's not. If you don't know how to use it or you don't understand it, it's okay. I don't want you to do something you don't understand. Hold on. I can probably take them from our dashboard. Hold on. Yeah, I copied it from our dashboard. These are the two outside links that we use. Oh, it came up in the chat just after I did it. But yeah. So whatever. Ping appreciates all people who help out and support in your own way, whether that's by donation or a super chat or a membership or just liking and sharing the videos. All of those things are good. Even telling a friend. If you tell a friend about the channel, that's great too. I'm very appreciative of all of it. It helps. All of those things help in their own individual ways. All right. I want to try and look up these two losers. I was hoping we might have had more, like a press conference from the PD up there, but sounds like the Nebraska PD did not do a press conference. And I don't know why. Yeah. I think we'll find out more about Jared Jack Crawls and Elizabeth Jamie Love tomorrow on the 27th of October when they're due back in court. So they're due in court tomorrow based on that article. Yeah, some people on iPhones can't give through YouTube for some reason. Yes, everyone make sure to thumbs up. I appreciate it. It'd be very kind of you. Oh, your night meds are kicking in? Thank you. All right, I think we should wrap up, but I will bring you more on this one when they appear in court on Monday. I put it on my reminders so we can keep an eye on it, and hopefully we'll get a press conference on Monday after they appear in court, because very strange to have such a large case but no press conference at all. Very odd. Okay. It is starting to bucket down here in Melbourne. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background, but there's thunder and lightning. Tina Moore said, did you get the $5 super chat? Did I put it up on the screen? Hold on. Yes, there we go. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. It's good to see you in the chat again. I hope Mr. Cheated No More is doing okay as well. I'll thank all these people. My friend Laurie Akers, thank you so much. Mr. Dan Yee gifted a membership. It's very kind of you. Carolina did a super chat. Thank you so much. My friend RX Girl as well. Kathy Lynch let us know about that story, about that one with the bridge and the body under the bridge. Very odd. And Cheated No More up here as well. Ed Jay gave away 5 memberships. That's very kind. If you get a membership from Jay gifted to you, say thanks to Jay in the comments. I think Jay would appreciate that. That's very kind of Jay to do that. All right. It's almost 4:40 in the afternoon Melbourne time. And I think we've been on just shy of 2 hours. So hold on. Yeah, Melbourne's been it has been raining all day, all night. And I was saying to Mrs. Ping earlier today, I actually couldn't remember the last time there was like real all-day rain in Melbourne. It feels like it's been a long time. Melbourne has been extremely dry for like the last 12 to 18 months. We had a very dry winter. There was not a lot of rain at all, which is normally in Melbourne. There's tons of rain in winter. Almost rains every day in winter in Melbourne. But this year there was very little rain all throughout the year. And today is the first time I can remember in recent memory where it has rained all night, all throughout the morning, and now into the afternoon, and probably overnight too. It's been maybe over a year. It's very drought-like in Melbourne at the moment for some reason. So, oh, your granddaughter's going to get born? Oh, I hope. Let us know tomorrow if your granddaughter gets born. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Yeah, we need the water. Melbourne lost water this year, I think for the first time in like 5 years. So it sounds very drought-like. So I hope we don't go into that again. But yeah, very weird to actually have rain again and actually hear the rain. Yeah, thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. All right, let's get out of here for your Saturday night. Yeah, another great show. Thank you very much to everyone. We'll be back tomorrow, where tomorrow we're going to taste test some of these American food items, like the key lime pie. We're going to try that out tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun. All right, I love you all. Great to see you all here tonight. Great to see a bunch of the regulars who I haven't seen in a while. Like Cheated No More, Diane Marie was here, Mamma Mia, Jay, Carolina, Kelly was here, Miss Woozy, Kathy, Carolina, Chipmunk, and a bunch of other people throughout the night as well. I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your Saturday and have a great Sunday tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday for us here in Australia, but you guys have a great Sunday out there. We'll be back with more true crime tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Love you all. Bye. Sorry, Bonnie Lee. This is probably going to wake you up, and I'm sorry about that. Bye.
Leather jacket, feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires.